Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Sunday afternoon, officers were called to a two-car crash at an intersection on Veterans Parkway near Interstate 90.
The drivers had differing stories, but video surveillance showed that both vehicles were traveling northbound.
Now, one car swerved multiple times near the other vehicle, eventually colliding with the rear end and spinning it around.
Southbound. The vehicle that was driven by the suspect in this case went over the median and came back again eastbound towards that vehicle, the victim vehicle, and came up right up next to it.
The victim was able to get out of his car out of fear of being struck again, later drawing an airsoft weapon to try and prevent the suspect from driving into him again.
48-year-old Roger Linder was arrested for aggravated assault and obstruction. Sergeant Benson says if anyone finds themselves in this situation, you should pull over and call 911.
A man sentenced to life in prison last week for kidnapping and killing a Sioux Falls woman received more prison time on Monday. A judge sentenced Amir Baudouin to another 50 years in prison for attempted kidnapping and assault in 2 other cases.
Just days before he kidnapped and strangled Pascalina Body, he tried to kidnap another woman in a grocery store parking lot. Baudouin was also convicted of attacking a female corrections officer.
Dusty Johnson of Mitchell, South Dakota's congressman in the U.S. House in Washington, has announced to run for governor of the state.
Now, before this event in Sioux Falls, he sat down with our Dan Centella in our studio to talk about his future plans.
We need to be lasered in on smart children, safe communities, strong families, better jobs, and I'm just so excited to grab that baton.
Johnson joins John Hanson of Del Rapids area and Toby Doden of Aberdeen as Republican candidates.
While the general election is in early November of 2026, the primary election will take place next June 2nd.
Johnson has represented South Dakota on Capitol Hill in D.C. since 2019.
Now let's head over to the KELOLAND Live Doppler Storm Center for a check on this morning's weather. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, Perry. Good morning, everybody. We are looking at a warmer day today. Temperatures in the 80s across eastern KELOLAND, central and western South Dakota. You can expect temperatures in the 90s. And this happens with mostly sunny skies and an increasing southerly wind in western South Dakota. Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Just 30 minutes east of Sioux Falls, there's now a place to test out craft cider. The Cidery Tasting Room on the edge of Beaver Creek, Minnesota, opened up last month in a former golf course clubhouse.
Now here you can try different craft ciders from all across Minnesota. The space comes from the McFarland family who run Blackshire Farms.
My wife and I started Blackshire Farms 8 years ago. We started by planting an orchard and then eventual pumpkin patch with the dream that we were going to start a cidery.
And that dream is now becoming a reality as they will soon be making and selling their very own cider.
Blackshire Farms also has a pumpkin patch and an event hall people can rent out. To learn more about this family farm, follow the links under this story here on KELOLAND.com.
A competition in Sioux Falls is taking the playground sport of jump roping to a whole new level. The Jump Rope National Championship is taking place this week at the Elman Center on the campus of Augustana University.
17 teams from across the country are competing in the event. Part of the sport's allure is just how low maintenance and accessible it is.
You don't need much equipment. You need a rope and you need a space, and you can do that in a gym or you can even do it outside on your sidewalk at home.
There are no South Dakota teams competing in the tournament.
However, organizers hope to generate more local interest in the sport by hosting a free jump rope jamboree tomorrow morning at the Elman Center.
The Sioux Falls Noon Sertoma Club is revamping its efforts to build an inclusive playground in Sioux Falls.
Regular playgrounds can be hard for wheelchairs to maneuver. This can make it difficult for some children to be able to play like others do.
She just loves to explore and socialize. So I feel like as parents we have to be more proactive about carrying her places. And she's not really able to explore much on her own.
We just feel that there's a huge void in the park system in Sioux Falls. There's a large population of people that aren't able to use normal play equipment, and we think that's being missed within the Sioux Falls area.
While the club came up with the idea 3 years ago, they're revamping their efforts to raise funds now.
We posted information on how they're doing that on KELOLAND.com. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Good morning, Brian.
All right, good morning. Watching your weather today. Pretty quiet to start the morning and into the afternoon. Temperature Sioux Falls in the mid-80s. Quite a bit of sunshine, too, so it'll feel pretty nice out there. Warming up a little bit more than this, though, in western and central South Dakota with some 90-degree weather, and that is just the start of the 90s coming our direction. Let's take a look at Futurecast now as we paint the picture across our region. Numbers in the northeast also topping out low to mid-80s, although Aberdeen will be a little warmer than that compared to Sisseton and Watertown. There are your 90s out toward Phillip and Rapid City. A couple thunderstorms are on the agenda tonight. Watch the radar scans around Huron and maybe Aberdeen. It looks like any of that activity that sprouts there will try to move southeast. There also could be a couple of scattered cells on radar this evening in western South Dakota. There's not a lot of organization to that, but just to let you know that is possible. And if that rain does get going there northwest of Sioux Falls, it could come in overnight, so just be ready for that with your rain gauge, just in case you catch a thunderstorm. Not a real wide band of rain here, but we are talking about at least a patch of some showers and thunderstorms, and so that could affect any spot there in southeastern Ketherland through early tomorrow morning. During the day tomorrow, we'll kind of clear the decks on that. We'll heat up. We'll pick up a little wind out of the south. Really heating up in winter and Rapid City back in the upper 90s. Sioux Falls area likely upper 80s. And we get into Thursday. The rain signal not especially high. We've got about a 20% chance of a thunderstorm. Pretty warm, pretty humid air is building back. We've got a lot of 90-degree weather west of Sioux Falls, mid-90s in Chamberlain and winter again in the afternoon. In fact, Pierre and Rapid, it could come close to 100. We're going to go ahead and put that in our 7-day forecast. And then, of course, you're wondering about the 4th of July. Well, to start the day, it looks very warm in the morning. The wind is out of the south. It's going to be a little windy, a little breezy there on Friday. South winds will run at least 20 to 30. Temperatures in the upper 80s. We might even see a 90-degree temperature. And then we'll see if we sprout some scattered thunderstorms. That is in the forecast. Right now in Sioux Falls, that's about a 60% chance. The most likely scenario right now would be evening or late day type thunderstorms. So we're going to allow that temperature to rebound to 87. So don't cancel plans. Just make sure you're aware that the weather could be a factor. Obviously, into Saturday, too, we'll do a carryover 30% chance. But the rain odds are better on the 4th of July versus Saturday. Same thing for Aberdeen. There'll probably be some thunderstorm chances increasing. So keep that in mind as you make your plans there for the 4th. And for Pierre, it's plenty hot ahead of the 4th of July. 100 on Thursday. Still talking 90-degree weather on Friday, but then the weekend will pull back. We'll go back to the mid to upper 80s. We could be looking at some more scattered thunderstorms in that forecast as that pattern breaks down too for Rapid City and western South Dakota. Check out more coverage online at KETHLELAND.com.